These are some immigration stories that I want to highlight. A judge, I believe in Massachusetts. I think that's what this headline is about. This is a New York Times headline. Judge finds U.S. violated court order with Sudan or sudden deportation flight to Africa, and it was Sudan. And amongst the things this judge said was to the government lawyers, "I want to know the names of all the people involved here because I may find them in contempt of court, and I want to know who to find in contempt." So now commenting on this was Trish McLaughin, who's a used to be before she took a job working as a top spokesperson for the Secretary of Homeland Security, Kristi Noem, was a regular here on Two Way. So here's Tricia, number 13, commenting on this judge's order.
Local judge in Massachusetts is trying to force the United States to bring back these uniquely barbaric monsters who present a clear and present threat to the safety of the American people and American victims. While we are fully compliant with the law and court orders, it is absolutely absurd for a district judge to try to dictate the foreign policy and national security of the United States of America. These are the monsters that the district judge is trying to protect. The contrast is brutally stark. President Trump and Secretary Noem are working every single day to get these vicious criminals off of American streets. And while activist judges are on the other side fighting to get them back onto United States soil. Before I turn it over to Acting Director Todd Lyons, I would like to remind the journalists in this very room to do your job. We gave you the names of these monsters as you have right in front of you. Now tell the stories of the innocent Americans who they victimized. I implore you to stop doing the bidding of these disgusting individuals. Tell the stories of the innocents. It's the American victims who actually matter.
So again, I've said for a long time that the media's failure to cover the victims and the stories of the victims of people who have been killed or attacked or otherwise harmed by people here in the country is ridiculous. And that's going back to 2016 as President Trump has talked about this issue. I also continue to be extraordinarily frustrated and confused of how little adjudication the media is doing and how slowly it happens when they do it about the allegations against these folks. So some people would say it doesn't matter what crimes anyone's committed, they still deserve what, until Donald Trump passed for, accepted due process for people in the country legally, even if they've committed crimes. But I think some number of Americans would be interested in knowing, are the allegations made about this El Salvador man, as I like to call him, and these people who Trish is talking about, are the allegations true or not? And I wish the press were doing a better job on that. I'm not sure why. Now, J.D. Vance did an interview with Ross Douthat of the New York Times. Jill, you know him, right?
I do.
Yeah. There's a long video interview, and I haven't had time to watch it. I only found out about it a little while ago, and I'm eager to watch it because J.D. Vance and Ross have something. I've recommended this before, but not all of you heard me say it. The interview that J.D. Vance did with Ross on MAGA several months ago is the best explanation I've ever heard of MAGA. It's one of the things that caused me to say my best line about J.D. Vance. I'll keep saying it. He speaks fluent MAGA with a suburban accent. It is just an extraordinary tour de force. And now he's done another interview with Ross, this one on camera. And here's a soundbite from that on immigration, number 14.
Cannot have a country where the American people keep on electing immigration enforcement and the courts tell the American people they're not allowed to have what they voted for. And that's where we are right now. We're going to keep working it through the immigration court process, through the Supreme Court as much as possible.
I'm going to watch the whole thing. But Jill, first just talk about Ross. He's a conservative. He's a brilliant guy. And he's not some MAGA sort of unalloyed, accepting everything.
He's an intellectual.
Yeah. Do you have a sense, either based on knowledge or just knowing Ross, why does he have this great rapport with J.D. Vance? I'm not being critical of it. I'm actually envious of it. What is it about the two of them that you think causes them to have such a fruitful conversations?
I think part of it is both of them are intensely interested in religion. As we know, J.D. Vance converted to Catholicism and, has thought deeply about all kinds of religious tenets and issues. And Ross is interested in that.
Yeah.
And I believe, is a believer too.
Yeah.
And I think that's part of the bond.
Yeah. Dan, do you have any thoughts about those two guys and why they get along so well?
So I don't know Ross personally, just certainly know of him and follow him. He does not seem to be a bomb thrower. He's very, as Jill said, he's intellectual, he's thoughtful, and JD may appreciate that he can get an airing, he can get a hearing, he'll kind of think about it, process it, and even if he disagrees, he will do it in a respectful manner. And JD may find that appealing. And part of JD's brand, as you say, is being able to talk to the New York Times of the world and others to peel off some voters, to soften people up, and where necessary for conflict.
An additional factor may be that there's a very, very, I would say, negative long profile of J.D. Vance in the New Yorker magazine.
Oh, that's an interesting point.
So
Say that. I'm sorry. Say that again.
there's a quite negative profile of J.D. Vance in
There
the
is?
New Yorker. Yeah.
Who wrote that?
I'm trying to remember. I want to say it's like Robert Packer, but I'm not sure.
Huh? And did he Vice President cooperate?
I just sort of perused it because
Okay.
it's
Is that just out?
it was out this morning.
Okay. I look forward to finding that.
So it's yesterday's news.
Exactly.
That was a delicious video experience. I think you'll agree. Now, what you need to do in return for getting to enjoy that is hit the subscribe button, be part of the two-way community, never miss a thing.